What's going on, my friends? All right, so today let's talk about a few things and we're going to get right into it. I hope everybody's having a good day, all that good stuff. So let's wait for more people to come in and we'll start this live stream. What's going on? Appreciate you for watching. Everybody that's joining, I see that slowly notifications are going out. You already know the business. Let me know if you hear me good on the chat. So before we get started, and we could talk about these interesting things that are again coming up. So just let me know if you hear me good on the audio before we begin in a few minutes, and we can get going. Hopefully everybody's having a great day. Sunday. Don't we all love Sundays? All right, so loud and clear. Cool. All right, so let's get started on this. All right, so something interesting that I came across, and if you can see by the title itself, WB and James Gunn mistreating Batman IP. All right, short for intellectual property. Okay, so you don't know what IP stands for. All right. Before we get into that, real quick, let's look at this quick update. So this right here is no wonder this industry is where it's at right now. So let me share with y'all so y'all can see what we have. All right. So we're gonna talk about 9 things today. All right. This is pretty wild. What's going on, Shane? Appreciate you for watching. Ace, what up? All right. So look, check this out. If you haven't seen this, like I said, this is why this industry is where it's at right now. They don't learn the lesson. All right. So this is coming. This is the source, comic book news. All right. This is a legit site. All right. First look at Harry Osborn in your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. This is a cartoon that's coming up apparently sometime next year. I'm not sure how soon it's coming up, nor do I care. This is what the Spider-Man IP has become also, you know. I'm not going to say nothing, but like the famous quote says, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And this right this right here pretty much sums it up. And you can see that fans are not having it. You see the little faces, this is completely insane, This is why it is where it's at. So whatever, that's that. So now let's get into the actual DC updates and stuff that we need to talk about. But before that, don't forget, here's a friendly reminder. So July 2nd, 2025, we're gonna go out and support Jurassic World. And then let's not forget, there's nothing in between. And then all the way until July 25th, 2025, Fantastic Four. All right. Don't forget that after Jurassic World, there's nothing in between, and we go straight to the Fantastic Four. Yeah, exactly. That's how we're going to play. All right. Because, like I said, we will stop at nothing. And this right here is how we will begin the new year. All right. All right. So, look, let's get into the actual thing of why and where we're heading to. All right. Let's not forget, this came out sometime last year in 2023 when they were trying to promote Blue Beetle. Don't forget. Let's not forget. Remember James Gunn? Look at what it's saying. This is by Screen Rant, an official source. They had said last year that James Gunn confirms the first DCU movie character. And who is that? Oh, that's right. That's Blue Beetle. And Blue Beetle is from where? The DCEU. And that one gets to jump ship into this new reboot and go over, right? And let's not forget, once this movie was coming out, everybody again was praising it, and they're saying that it's going to be, as awesome as the Flush was, and we saw how that turned out because that leads us into the next one. Look at that. Embarrassing results of what happened with Blue Beetle at the box office. Collections, the collection forces fans that they're questioning the future of James Gunn and his DCU. And look at where we're at right now. 1 year later, officially in the start of the DCU. But I thought Blue Beetle was supposed to start it off. See what I'm saying? Again, these are facts coming at you, and people just don't want to accept it. And, the toxic James Gunn fans don't like these reality checks because when you speak to them with facts and reality, they dislike that. They don't like that. But this is right here what the fact is. And again, let's not forget, look at how Blue Beetle did at the box office. Blue Beetle disappoints with 25 million opening weekend. Can we forget that? No, right? We cannot forget that. And keep in mind, this is a property and this was something that James Gunn was working on. So if you notice it, he doesn't like to take credit when movies flop, but he likes to take credit when he's not involved and he quote unquote gives his little notes like Penguin and whatever other movies that if they were successful, he likes to say, hey, that's part of my projects and stuff. Get out of here. Completely insane. All right. So now look, this is why I say that WB is allowing, along with James Gunn, to mistreat Batman IPs. This apparently is a scene that's in one of the recent episodes from, what is it, Creature Commandos. And if you can see this, you can clearly see that that's Batman. He's also impaled on one of these, sticks, spears, whatever it is, how they did with Superman, which is still James Gunn's Superman. That's what I'm telling you. James Gunn doesn't care about these characters. He's said it. He doesn't care about superheroes. This is what he's doing with this IP of Batman. What is he trying to say? Like that to me is a message saying, I'm trying to, take out these characters, these iconic characters. You know what that sounds like? That sounds like something that a competitor would send someone to do. Think about that. That to me smells like a competitor sending a rat as a snake to slither themselves into the company and, tear it from the inside out. I mean, how and why is WB allowing James Gunn to do this? Like, this is your beloved character, Batman. Again, your most iconic character in the world. And this is the treatment that they're giving to Batman. This right here is completely disrespectful on every level. It doesn't matter what version of Batman. It's just Batman, the character. All right? You can relate to Batman. If you like Batman, it depends, whatever version of Batman. It doesn't matter right now. This right here is an insult. Is an insult to us, the fans, is an insult to like just the brand itself, and WB is allowing this, to make DC look like this, like why are you gonna go ahead and just completely take out your own character, Batman, and make him seem that he's completely going to be done, again, like that's why the topic of today is that James Gunn is mistreating the IP of Batman itself, whichever version, it's all the same. It's just Batman, it's just wild. It's just completely wild. What's going on, everybody? I see y'all in the comments. We'll get to the comments in a few. But again, look, you can just see this. It's completely disrespectful. It doesn't matter if it's a nightmare scene. It doesn't matter if it's a future scene. It just, how do you allow your most iconic character to be taken out like this? Like, wow, like Zack Snyder never did that with this character. And look at what James Gunn is literally doing, like completely taking him out. Completely insane. I just don't understand how the studio allows, you know, this bozo to really do this. Now, moving forward, let's go to the next topic. We're on the sixth. We have three more topics. So with this whole update and this news that we saw, over the past, I guess, 24 hours, if you want to say, we have James Gunn that he's saying that he's not worried about the Batman 2's latest delay. Again, you can see by the reactions, a lot of fans are mad. And this is like a few hours ago, so I'm sure these numbers are going to be increased and stuff. A lot of people are, hitting the little laugh emoji, and a lot of people are liking it. So James Gunn defends the Batman's 2 delay. How? We're about to see that right now. But at the same time, again, he's mistreating the Batman IP because, again, it's going to take us into the next topic. These are things that I just came across today. This is all today within the past 3 hours. And, at the time of this recording that we are right now live, talking, chatting, everything right here. James Gunn just doesn't care about these characters. He doesn't. It's like he's literally been sent to fully, you know, destroy everything that's at DC. Because now James Gunn is saying, to be fair, A 5 year gap or more is fairly common in sequels. And this right here is coming from firstcuriosity.com. So that's your source right there. So to everybody that's like, well, what's your source? It's right there, bro. Literally, it's right there. I mean, look at that. Like, again, it doesn't matter which version of Batman. It's just the character itself, this big iconic IP of Batman, Everything else is just an add-on, but just Batman, what they're doing with it. I mean, you don't have a script, right? Matt Reeves doesn't have a script. It's been what, like almost 5 years since the last movie. When we got the last one, like in 2022, 20, I think 2022. So we're like 2 years in. It's getting delayed to 27. So you're looking at it as what, 22, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're almost looking at 7 to 8 years. When you look at how long a universe tends to last, Man of Steel with Zack Snyder started in 2013, and it quote unquote ended because it's not over. It's just on pause. It's just on hold because of James Gunn. And 2023 makes 10 years. So by the time that Matt Reeves has a script and they have things quote unquote ready, it's pretty much going to be almost that 8 year, mark, if you want to say, because once they start filming in 2027, we'll add another 2 years because they have to add a year and then marketing and post productions. This movie's probably going to is probably big if it ever sees the day. It's going to probably release sometime 2029, almost 2030, and that's a long time from now, honestly. By then, for sure, they're gonna can this movie. And James Gunn just trying to justify, oh, a 5 year gap is okay. Yes, and I get it, and I'm aware Avatar was delayed for like how long and stuff like that. But we're talking about Disney. Disney has that money. Disney has that pull, that plug, that connect. Disney can do things like that and get away with it because, of course, look at what Disney's doing with Sonic right now. If you're not aware right now, Disney, this is how dirty Disney is, that right now Sonic is in theaters and they outperformed Mufasa. But this is how grimy Disney is. If you didn't know, you're about to find out. Disney has all of these theaters on lock, and they're trying to put more screens so that Sonic is not allowed to play in more theaters, more screens, in what is it, whatever the highest definition that's out there right now. You know why? IMAX, I think, because Disney is so greedy. Disney just wants to own everything in this industry. But joke's on them because those numbers that they thought that they were going to make with Mufasa aren't there. And in the first opening day of Sonic 3, they fully, completely crushed Mufasa. And Disney's trying to trying to close their way so that Sonic 3 doesn't reach the $1 billion. And now Mufasa's slowly starting to pass Sonic just because of that. They have that lead, of course. It has to stop. This whole thing with Disney literally has to stop. They can't own everything and they want to control everything. It doesn't work like that. That's the same thing that's going on right now with DC, and like I said, I am fully convinced that James Gunn has been sent by Disney to sabotage and destroy, the competitor, which is DC. And, doing everything that he's doing with Batman, delaying it, whatever it is that they're doing to stall that one character. Remember, Batman is an IP that's huge at DC, and Marvel wishes they can have it. So they're like, well, we know we can't have it. So what are they gonna do? Like all these toxic James Gunn's, followers and fans and supporters, that they're gonna go out of their way like a jealous ex-girlfriend and completely try to do everything to get in your way. Because you're moving forward and they just can't get past because they're bitter, they're salty, they're miserable. So they have to go out and fabricate, lies and fake numbers and fake reviews and pay the bots so they can go out and automate it. They could just do what they're doing, Skynet style, like in Terminator. So you get what I'm saying, and honestly, this whole thing with James Gunn, he's not gonna let Matt Reeves do and finish his universe. He's not, realistically, he's not going to let him. And it's just completely insane, honestly. Like, I'm not surprised. A lot of us are not surprised. We know what's up. And And in the end, Matt Reeves is just two things are gonna happen. He's gonna walk out. He's gonna say probably he's having some type of personal problems, which he is. He's currently going through some problems. There's a rumor that's, apparently he's facing some type of personal problems. I'm not gonna talk about it because again, like I don't know if it's for sure, but he's going through some stuff. That's why it's taking longer than usual. But then again, the studio could probably, meaning WB, could be probably saying, "Hey, take a break. We're just gonna move away from that universe until it slowly fades away and people forget about it, and we're just going to focus on, James Gunn with his Batman Brave and the Bold." But big but here is the next update. This is where it takes us to. Apparently, this came out today too. It's a lot of news that's been coming out lately, and this is why I keep on talking about it, because it's just like hot bread. It's just moving. Check this out. Apparently, Andy Muschietti with Batman the Brave and the Bold has been delayed. All right. Apparently, it's not moving forward at the moment. This is good news, honestly. As a fan, to me, this is good, honestly. This is coming from DC Central Group. Director of the failed Flush movie, Andy Muschietti, was set to try again with Batman Brave and the Bold, but has now confirmed the film is on hold. This is why I'm telling you, everything that has to do with Batman right now, James Gunn is not interested. He's only focused on Superman. And seeing and hearing all of these early screen test uh, views, if you want to say, a lot of people are not happy. They're saying that it's not looking good. And I hear more, like complaining and, the movies being compared to the mummy and stuff like that. And this is why I'm telling you the future of the DCU with James Gunn all depends on the success, which we already know is going to flop with Superman, because we know Superman is not going to make high numbers. It's just not. And they know it. WB knows it. David Zaslav knows it. DC knows it. You know, the executives, the shareholders, the investors, and the toxic James Gunn fans, they all know, including the cast, that Superman is not being well received now imagine when it releases and we start seeing how the 2 weeks leading the week leading into the actual release date, which now these movie theaters no longer wait till Friday to release the movie. They let you see it on a Wednesday night because, of course, they want to cash in early, and some of them will let you on Tuesday. So when we start seeing the early screenings of next year for July, when the movie's actually going to be released, you better get ready because you're going to be seeing a lot of empty seats, just how we saw with The Flash, how we saw with Blue Beetle, how we saw even with Aquaman 2. That's going to it's going to happen again with James Gunn Superman, because not everybody is gonna go out there and see it. Everybody in the internet is right now big and bad. They're like, yeah, it's gonna be the best movie of the world and blah blah blah. And we already know how they did that, and it's smelling and sounding exactly like The Flash, Blue Beetle. What's this other movie that came out? I can't remember right now. All these movies that flopped. The Joker 2, it's the same thing. It's all the same tactics that they're trying to use, and it's not going to work. WB knows it. WB knows that Superman is not going to bring in the numbers that they think is going to come in. Honestly, these reshoots that James Gunn is doing, I'm telling you right now, that's not going to help Superman 2025. It's not, honestly. It didn't help the Flash because remember they did a lot of reshoots. It didn't help Aquaman 2. They did reshoots for that. They did reshoots for Blue Beetle, and they did reshoots for what was this other one? I can't remember right now. Anyways, all of those movies that they did reshoots to add on, they didn't work. So what makes you think that James Gunn is going to really have a successful movie with Superman? It's not. It's not going to make those numbers. So WB knows it. And again, then you have Andy Muschietti that he completely lied to everybody when this movie came out and they did the early test screenings. They were like, the CG was terrible. It was like a lot of people were upset. And then these people with Andy Muschietti and his team, according to some fans, they were like, oh, they said that they were going to fix it in post production. And what did they do? They didn't fix anything. It's the same thing. So people were saying, hey, the same thing we saw in the early test screenings is the same thing that they put out in the final product. How and why? Pretty clear. Andy Muschietti got $300 million, and out of the 300 million dollars, he probably spent less than half of it. He probably spent maybe 100 million, if 80 million max, and he pocketed the rest of the money. So that's why we got the shitty flush the way it turned out. So, like, do you expect anything better if he was to do Batman, the Brave and the Bold? No, no. To anybody that's saying, yeah, I expect that he's going to put out a good product, you're just lying to yourself. You're the one that's living in denial. Because how are you going to say that this clown right here, that he made the flush, it didn't make the numbers that they wanted, yet they move forward with him? This right here, this director right here, 300 million, and we get the poor quality of the flush? There's no excuse. These excuses are invalid. Like, it doesn't make sense. Make it add. It just doesn't add up, you know? And James Gunn doing what he's doing right now, he doesn't care. James Gunn really doesn't care about these characters. All James Gunn's focus on the weird characters. We're gonna have a kaiju, for crying out loud, fighting in Superman. It's in the trailer. We saw that already in Guardians of the Galaxy. We already saw that in the Suicide Squad with the big fish. I mean, not the fish, the big starfish. What's his name? Starro. And it's like James Gunn only cares about these weird characters, and like that's what they're moving forward with. If I was an executive or somebody big at WB, I would be nervous right now. I would be panicking. I would be like, you know what? This is not going to bring us the numbers that we're expecting or we're thinking. This is not going to work right. And what are we going to do? We need to come up with a solution. And they seriously, seriously need to look at what they're going to do next. They can't live off of animated films either, because we already know live action is where the money's at for these companies, along with the video game industry. But they make most of the profits from these movies. This is why they constantly keep on putting out movies. But we already know that James Gunn is not the solution. James Gunn doesn't care about Matt Reeves. He doesn't care about Robert Pattinson. All he cares about is his Batman Brave and the Bold. That's all he's going to care about. And, when you see it with Andy Muschietti, okay, this is me speculating. James Gunn is going to make, what is it, dynamic duo that you're going to have Robin and Batman with, what's his name? With Matt Reeves. So of course James Gunn isn't worried. And then he's trying to put excuses. Hey, in 5 years, that's fine. In 5 years, people get tired. People get other contracts. By that time, probably here to 5 years, Matt Reeves is gonna be working on a new, what is it, Planet of the Apes movie or whatever. So like he's gonna be busy. So it's like James Gunn wants him to leave, to step down, because now James Gunn, and it would make sense, him with Andy Muschietti, right? He would take over and replace Matt Reeves to work on the dynamic duo. It would make perfect sense. You have this clown right here. You have this bozo right here. They already got rid of, Robert Pattinson, Matt Reeves in 5 years, and they can move ahead with what they want right here. This is perfect for what James Gunn wants to do, to fill his ego, because now it's going to be focused on James Gunn's Batman, James Gunn's Superman, James Gunn with Andy Muschietti, dynamic duo. You see it? You're not connecting it? I mean, I see the pieces all connecting. That's what I see it's going to happen. Like, James Gunn just doesn't care about nobody but himself. That's it. In the end, he doesn't care if this movie gets a sequel, if it gets made. Better for him, it doesn't get made. Better for him if Matt Reeves just says, you know what, I'm out. I don't want to be part of it. Perfect. Because now James Gunn can take over if he wants with Robert Pattinson, and then make Robert Pattinson, a happy Batman, and, corny, and of course raunchy. I mean, I would like to see that, honestly, not just because I want to see it, but just to prove and show all you Matt Reeves fans that this is what happens when you get screwed over by a director. The same way that we Snyder fans have been getting screwed left and right by the studio themselves, by WB. And then you have James Gunn that fully finished screwing us with The Flush. And of course, what we saw in Aquaman. To this day, I still haven't seen Aquaman 2. So, what does that tell you? That I personally, along with many fans, we're just not interested in what James Gunn is trying to do. And what he's going to try to do is he's going to ruin the character of Batman. We already know he's going to ruin Superman. There's no hope with Superman, honestly. And I'm just speechless, you know? It's like, and then you have Andy Muschietti that's going to be coming on board. Why? Like his movie tanked at the box office. That's why I said the other day, you know, sarcastically, it's okay. We're moving forward with flops, right? That's the new norm. Flops, that's acceptable, right? The excuses from this studio, from the fans of James Gunn, Andy Muschietti, all of these bozos right here. And then on top of that, you have majority of the toxic James Gunn fans that they're so vile, they're so sick, they're not right. They know that they're not, you know, and they're stalkers and they know who they are. They're sick. They're sick. But this is okay. Those same sickles are the ones that are going to cause this company to continue to sink. This is why the stocks of WB don't go up. And you might be saying, and especially let me point this out real quick again, to that one, my number one stalker. I know you're in here with a fake account. You're watching and you have your little minions watching and reporting back to you because it's crazy. It's crazy. Toxic fans like you are just completely delusional. And then you come out and want to give your opinion about people like me because I'm calling it how it is. You just don't like the realities and the truth that's coming your way. You can't accept it. You're rotting in your own acid juices and you just completely are festering with your own envy. And it just shows where you James Gunn fans stand at. We Snyder fans are not focused on y'all. We talk about y'all, we criticize y'all, we make fun of y'all. Yeah, that's who doesn't? That's every fandom. But when it comes down to it, we speak with facts. We speak with numbers. We speak with the reality. And the James Gunn fans can't tolerate that. They don't like that. When you come at them with facts, statistics, records, and numbers, it's like a vampire. They like fear that. You know, it's like they don't want that. When you give them the solid evidence and the proof, hey, look, this is the solid, you know, situation of what's going on, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to see it. They know that their DCU is done. It's done. It's done. There's no future in James Gunn's DCU. If it were successful, if it were profitable, again, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Some of you are saying, but what if Superman does make $1 billion? Good. If it makes $1 billion, I will come here again live and tell you, hey, the movie made $1 billion. It was good. But it's not because James Gunn has yet to put out anything that's original. Again, James Gunn is nothing more than a copy and paste of his own work. He's done it with Marvel. He's doing it here at DC. It's not going to change with Superman. I don't know how some people love to idolize James Gunn like he's some type of savior. And then they want to call us Snyder fans that we're cultists. Yeah, they're idolizing James Gunn like the false god that he is. See what I'm saying? That's what happens. They don't like to hear the truth. The truth hurts them. But sometimes you have to call out things how they are. Now, when it comes again to all of this, when it comes to this whole universe with James Gunn and the Snyderverse or whatever, honestly, look, when you're seeing it and you have Comcast that's coming into play and they want to spend a little bit of money, a little bit of money to them is probably, you know, a couple of millions. I mean, these people got money like that. They don't care. They're like, yo, we just want to make money. So why would they want to spend money knowing something like James Gunn's IPs aren't going to bring in money? It hasn't started off good. James Gunn's first IP at DC was The Suicide Squad, and it didn't work. James Gunn's other projects, such as Creature Commandos, isn't working. Not everybody's watching it. You have a handful of people, and that handful of people is not enough because most of the fans don't care about what James Gunn is putting out and what he's doing. People don't want that. People want quality. People want what Zack Snyder was giving us. People want what David Ayer was giving us because there were two different universes on the same timeline, two different directors, along with Patty Jenkins and James Wan. Four awesome directors. They all had their own vision, they all had their own take, but in the end, it all connected some way, shape, or form. It all made sense, and it wasn't the Marvel formula. Again, you do not need the Marvel formula in order to have a successful universe. James Gunn is trying to build his universe on no foundation. There is no support on James Gunn's universe. He doesn't know what he's doing. He knows that he doesn't know what he's doing. His fans and his followers know that he has no clue what he's doing. And every time this alone is showing you this Batman from James Gunn, Brave and the Bold, delayed. This is what you're seeing on Creature Commandos. They're trying to take out Batman. Why? Why? The silliness, the raunchiness, the foolishness that we've been seeing with James Gunn's movies tells you that he has no clue what he's doing. This right here was over a year ago. This is in 2023. And this is before James Gunn's official DCU kicked off. What are people saying a year ago? That they're questioning the future of James Gunn's DCU. Fans are questioning it. That means that they're not sure if James Gunn is worthy of it. He's not. James Gunn has not put out a movie that has made the studio money. And if he has, please tell me with facts. Show me the numbers. Show me the high numbers while James Gunn has been in power and these numbers have been in the green in stock. None. It's not working. It's never going to work with James Gunn. There's no solution, there's no hope with him. This is why he doesn't care. He's like, I don't care. Let it take 5 years. We don't care. Exactly. He's trying to give Matt Reeves the time to decide, hey, look, either you join us or just drop, get out and let us continue doing our own thing. That's why I said yesterday, that meme that I showed you that somebody posted, they're like, oh, that he's stepping down and he's looking forward to the future of what James Gunn's DCU is going to be without him. I'm telling you, reality sometimes is said through a joke, through a meme, and that's how these things come forth. And that's what happens. Remember, we saw the same thing in many movies. One recent one that I can remember from the top of my head is that Spider-Man meme, where all three of them are pointing at each other. And we saw that in the live action of Spider-Man No Way Home. That's what I'm telling you. The same thing with the meme with Joker and Zack Snyder's Justice League. We live in a society. Zack used it, threw it into the trailer. Boom, it came forth. That's what I'm telling you. Sometimes when you say certain things, they can happen. But again, this is where we're at. No surprise. I am not surprised. And just seeing how everything is going, seriously, there is no hope with James Gunn and his universe and everything that he's trying, to completely put out there. It's just not going to work, honestly. Drop your comments because now I'm going to take the time and we're going to actually look at some of these comments and stuff like that. So I see y'all out there. Appreciate everybody for watching and all that good stuff. So let me try to see if I can catch up. WB is run by demons. Yep, that's true. That is true. It's unfortunately, but it's completely it's true. It's There's no words, you know. Is that Miles? No, that's not Miles. That's supposed to be Harry Osborn for that new Spider-Man. What is it? The cartoon show that they're gonna be putting. So yeah, it's gonna be fully woke again. That's why this entertainment business isn't working, you know. And then they wonder why they're in the negative, you know. Screen Rant is Disney's puppet. I wouldn't be surprised. You know, Disney, they control this industry pretty well. So, you know, but we already know, you know, like the numbers don't lie, and you know that's the facts when it comes down to it. Blue Beetle was garbage. Yeah, it was really really garbage. That's why I'm not surprised that James Gunn backed away from it, and he was like, "Oh no, it doesn't start with that. When does it officially start?" You know, he's always backtracking himself, and you know, it's just embarrassing on his part. Yeah, James Gunn, the new Flash DCU. Yeah, that's pretty much what it's coming down to. It's sad to see how the studio is allowing James Gunn to do this, and you know, I don't know, you know, it's completely words can't even describe it. I forgot Blue Beetle after 2 hours. You know what? I saw it as soon as I saw it. I was done with it. I couldn't even remember it. That's how bad it is. You know, it's like that's what happens with these movies, you know, like there's no quality. When there's no quality, that's what happens. You're not going to remember it because you're going to be like, damn, I can't remember what it was even about, you know. It's completely sad. Yeah, that's true. James Gunn has no respect for DC. He doesn't. Yet he's the one that's in charge of DC Studios. Make it make sense. He just it's wild, you know. What up, Sean? I appreciate you for tuning in, for watching, all that good stuff. Same with everybody. Yeah, they treat Wonder Woman worse. Yeah, you know, we've seen what that's happened lately, but you know, like I said, things are gonna change. This is just this is a certain limit that the bubble can keep on expanding until it finally pops. And this bubble's about to burst. You know, the whole DC bubble, if you want to say, it's about to burst because with James Gunn, again, nothing is working. He's trying everything, and you know, it's just not working. You know, it's really not working. Let's see. All right. Yeah, DCU is DOA. Yeah, they know it. I'm sure that when they have meetings and stuff at WB, they probably bring that up and they're like, "Look, fans are making fun of us. They're saying that it's all DOA." I can only imagine that. You know, it's completely. You know, yeah, exactly, Shane. Fire gap is not common in MCU. It's not. You know, but it's still, you know, there's no excuse. 5 years, that's a long time. You know, like I could understand a year, you know, a year and a half, but 5 years, like, man, that's a long time. You know, like they're just trying to stretch it to see how far it can go, and at the end, you know, is this gonna be a different turnout? Yeah, we're gonna get Zack Snyder back for sure, for sure. We already know he's back for that 300 series that he's gonna be doing for Max, and along with that, that's where I feel that it's going to come the return of the Snyderverse because honestly, you know, there's no other solution for the studio. They're gonna have to restore Snyderverse, you know, just to make them make money again. I mean, they need Zach for the 300. They could have gotten anybody else. So why bring Zach back? Because they want that money. They want that money like Netflix. Matt Reeves said the script was almost done. James Gunn's lying again as always. Yeah, he's always constantly lying. James Gunn, the new Pinocchio. That's who he is. You know. All right, let's see. Jason Pattinson is gonna be 40 by the time the sequel comes out, which is why they should have given us Zack Snyder's Justice League 2, 3, Man of Steel, Batfleck film, because actors are gonna be 40 plus anyways. Exactly. I agree with you. You know, that's a good point right there, Jason. Yeah, it makes sense. And again, look, like they say, age is nothing but a number. The same thing. If we can get Michael Keaton, that's what, like 70 something, to reprise and play Batman again in the Flash. I mean, there's no excuse. We could get Ben Affleck, we could get Henry back, we could get, you know, everybody again, and they'll come back. You know, it's always about money, and then in the end, they're gonna say, yeah, they're gonna take the money, and you know, they know that the fans want this, so it'll happen in due time. So, again, we just have to keep putting pressure onto the studio because they're feeling it. They're feeling it. Their stocks don't go up. It doesn't go past $10, you know, and this is what they've been sitting on for like the past month, and that's not bad. I mean, that's not good. That's bad. That's really, really bad because you're starting off a new reboot and your stocks don't go up. And then when they do go up, they only go up a few cents. That's pretty pathetic, honestly. Yeah, like we know there's no profit in that right now with the DCU. We need the real DC to come back, which is with Zack Snyder, David Ayer, Patty Jenkins, James Wan, and the Snyderverse, everything that had on it. Yep, restore the Snyderverse for sure, for sure. It will happen. It's going to happen in due time. I am positive about that. They can say whatever they want. If WB at the time was saying that, oh, they were done with Zack Snyder's quote unquote trilogy, which Ann Sarnoff was saying, which makes no sense because we didn't get a trilogy. It's the same thing. We're gonna keep on fighting until we, get again, the Snyderverse restored because it's bound to happen. It's bound to happen. All right, let's see. Let's see. I'm just looking through comments and stuff. Yeah, we want a lot of people want what Zack Snyder was doing. And speaking about Zack Snyder, let me just pull up this quick update that I came across today. This is very interesting. Let me see if I could pull it up real quick just so I can share it with y'all. This is about Rebel Moon Part 3. All right, I have it right here. This is from Collider. This is actually, I think it came out yesterday. I think it came out today. This was 18 hours ago at the time of this recording. So, Rebel Moon 3, all right? Exciting news for this, all right? Now, this is Collider. We know Collider is a legit company and, they're in business for a while and stuff like that. But let me just quote something real quick because what they had said, I'm trying to find it. This is just a long article. I'll share it with y'all so y'all can see. But Rebel Moon, all right? Rebel Moon was a huge success. It was a huge success. This is them saying that. And they asked him because he's working on that new show that's gonna be from Netflix. What is the one with the LAPD? Um, which that one I'm excited. I want to see what that's gonna be about. Like they asked him about Rebel Moon 3, and he's like, here it goes. This is all right. In that same interview, Snyder confirmed that he has already started working on part 3 of Rebel Moon, saying, we absolutely have the story all set. We did all that work. Snyder goes on to say, we wrote a treatment for the movie, so we'll see how we go ahead. All right. Because remember, they're right now working on all these projects. And let's not forget, after that LAPD show for Netflix, Zach is also going to be working on what's that movie with what is it? I think is UFC, something like that they're doing like a live action type of thing, which is probably going to be something like a not documentary, but it's probably going to be something like that from a point of view from one of a person like that. I'm guessing, whatever it is, Zach is busy right now, so he's gonna be busy for the next 2 years, probably to like 2026, 2027. Hopefully by then, I mean, by then probably we'll have some announcement, and whatever it is, I'm just excited, honestly. Like Zach is working, he's busy, and soon we're gonna be eating even more, than what we're getting. This is awesome, it's awesome, and along with that, I'm for sure that the Snyderverse, and with this whole thing with Comcast in 2026 will be perfect timing. It's all going to fall into play and things are going to honestly fall at the right time. Everything is going to fit at the right time, and we're gonna get it. And it doesn't have to connect with James Gunn's universe. It doesn't even have to acknowledge it. If you want to say, let it be on an Elseworld on a separate timeline, but still with the DCEU, and let Zach do his thing over on Max the same way that he's been doing, and he's been cooking over on Netflix. Netflix trusts him enough to do what he has to do with Rebel Moon, Army of the Dead, whatever he wanted to do, they did it, and here we are. All these projects. The same thing with that animated film. I can't remember the name of it right now. Twilight of the Gods. So like there's projects. Like the work is coming out. That's all. That's all that what matters in the end. And for us, the fans, I mean, we're eating it up, and we're gonna keep on enjoying it, and that's what the whole win of this is, we're all gonna be enjoying, we're all gonna be eating good. We're enjoying still right now. Even while James Gunn's putting out whatever trash he's putting out, nobody's watching it, nobody's supporting it. And then again, like I told you, and I shared it with y'all, for WB to re-upload, the music score from Hans Zimmer with Man of Steel, why would they be doing that in the start of a new reboot? Makes no sense, right? It makes no sense. Why would you do that? It's completely like confusing. Like, what are you trying to tell us, WB? What are you trying to say? That nobody cares about David Cornsweet and James Gunn and this new reboot, and everybody's still talking about Henry Cavill. Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And Comcast are the type of company that you want to be in business with, because Comcast has that money. If they could sponsor the NFL, I mean, there's some serious money. You just don't sponsor the NFL because these people be sponsoring them, in the past and stuff. So there's money there. Like they have money. So what makes you think that they won't consider trying to restore the Snyderverse if they know it's going to make them money? All right, let's see what Charles has to say. Now give me the Snyderverse, the dark sci-fi, the female Furies, the Apocalypse War, Justice League 2, Justice League 3, throwing that Bat flick film with Deathstroke. Yeah, for sure. Guaranteed. If they were to do that, to announce that, honestly, like I said yesterday, I don't know if you guys all saw, um, but yesterday I was saying, how can, WB announce the return of the Snyderverse? Very easy, very simple. All that they have to do would be the following. Very simple. They just have to bring back DC fandom. If you don't want to spend money, DC fandom is the easiest and cheapest way for you, WB. I'm giving you ideas, WB. All right. This is how you do it. You have Zach, you have him, at towards the end, announce what he's going to be doing, that whole 300, blah, blah, all that good stuff. And then along with Zach, you bring in David Ayer. And, they both like, hey, you wanna announce it to them, or what? And then David Ayer announces it. Hey, look, we're working on a project, this and that. And on top of that, we're gonna be bringing and giving you guys finally, the Ayer cut. That's gonna be only on Max. Oh, that's a win. That's a huge win just right there. You're getting points. And then what else? You have Zack Snyder. And then he's like, hey, look, once we're done with the 300, like, I'm happy to announce that we're back, baby. It's restored. That's it. Boom. You imagine that? The internet would be talking for months. Honestly, they would be talking for months. Look at how we're still talking about Man of Steel with Henry Cavill, and that's been 10 years. And look, barely anybody's talking about James Gunn and his Superman. People are still talking about Henry Cavill, Black Adam. You think that Comcast wouldn't pick that up and say, hey, whatever happened with Black Adam, with that ending? Oh, it just got canned. We never did anything because we moved forward with James Gunn. Oh, okay. All right. So what are we gonna do about it? What do you want to do about it? Well, I want to give the fans what they want first, and I want to make money because that's what we're all here for. Because in the end, let's stop bullshitting everything. Come on, people. It doesn't matter what you do in life, all right? In the end, it's all about money. Whatever it is that you do, whether you clean cars, you clean toilets, you're a doctor, whatever you do in the world, it's always about money, period. So when people are like, oh, they won't come back, money talks. And people will change and say, you know what? Let me reconsider that. Especially with how the economy is right now, down the drain. Yeah, money always talks. That's why it makes me laugh when people are like, oh, the cast and all these actors and actresses, they're not coming back. They moved on. Tell me, where did all of them say that they moved on? You won't find it because they haven't. That's the excuse that these James Gunn followers always want to come up with. Oh, you guys should move on from it because they've all moved on. No, they haven't. No, they haven't. Not once has any of the cast, including Zach himself, nor the music composer, Junkie XL, has moved on. None, of them. They are all ready to come back and do more work for us, the fans, for our entertainment, two, for their career, and three, for that paycheck. Because it's not bullshit. It's all about the money. If Jim Carrey can come back for Sonic 3 and admit he came back for the paycheck, We all are going to do it for the money. So these actors and actresses are thankful to Zack Snyder for doing what he did to his career. It helped him. That's why, honestly, it's kind of sad to hear Jesse Eisenberg say that Batman versus Superman kind of hurt his career. That's bullshit. Honestly, that's bullshit. It didn't hurt your career. It's just probably you don't fit certain roles in this industry, and that's why you're not getting work. People don't get hired just because. They get hired because you have to fit a certain character. Zack Snyder picked Jesse Eisenberg because he believed in him. He saw a Lex Luthor in him. The problem is that WB didn't let Zack fully cook and fully unfold his true potential with what he wanted to do with that version of Lex Luthor. We saw it. We saw at the end of Batman versus Superman, we finally see Lex getting his hair cut. We finally get the bald look like we see in the comics. And then we see in Zack Snyder's Justice League at the end when you see what's his name? Lex Luthor with Deathstroke. It was setting up the Ben Affleck standalone film. That's why I'm telling you, all this can still be restored. All it takes is just the right people. And part of the right people on that team is Pam and Mike DeLuca. That's what we need. We need good leadership like that at WB. Hell, it doesn't even have to connect with anything that James Gunn is doing. Let that be its own thing. And that's what James Gunn fears. He knows that if Comcast comes in or another company and wants to continue the timeline of the DCU, James Gunn knows he's stuck. He knows he's done. He knows nobody's going to be looking and be interested in what he's putting out because now all attention, all eyes are going to be on everything that's related with Zack Snyder and the Snyderverse, along with David Ayer. Because I get it. Some people have told me, "Oh, the what is it with David Ayer? That's not the Ayerverse." Yes, it was. What? Because he only put out one movie. He was supposed to get Gotham City Sirens. So therefore, that's still connected into what he was going to do. It's just the studio that screwed him up. Remember, we were supposed to get Gotham City Sirens from David Ayer. So therefore, that was going to be connected, but instead, we got the shitty Birds of Prey. And look at how bad that turned out. Thank you, Walter Hamada. That's what happened. But now, like Charles is saying, give us the Snyderverse. We want that dark side fight. You know how many people I be seeing on comments saying that? I see that all over the internet. The Apocalypse War, the same thing. Connecting into Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3, the possibilities are endless. They're huge. And on top of that, give us what you promised us at the beginning, that Ben Affleck Batman movie with Deathstroke. And I guarantee you, all that will make them over $1 billion on their own if they were to do it. But they won't never know, meaning the studio, WB and DC and David Zaslav and whoever comes next, and they won't know unless they don't actually have the balls to put out this type of quality. It's like they're scared to put this alpha type of material because they're too concerned on what Rotten Tomatoes has to say. I don't give two shits about what Rotten Tomatoes has to say. I wipe my ass with Rotten Tomatoes. You know why? Because Rotten Tomatoes isn't going to do anything to me in this industry. This is the problem with today's industry in everything. It doesn't matter what side of this industry is, whether it's video games, comics, whatever the hell you want to do, right? Stop it with the woke content. That's what's hurting your brands. WB, you are allowing all this and you're not doing anything about it because you're scared of what Rotten Tomatoes and the fake paid critics are going to say. That's the problem. You're scared. You should be focused on how are we going to outperform our competitors by doing our thing. This is why I like, excuse me, this is why I like what Paramount is doing right now with Sonic because it's proving to everybody in this industry, including to us, the fans, that everything that Marvel has been putting out doesn't always work. And this is why Disney's playing dirty right now with Mufasa because they know that they're being outperformed by a little blue animated hedgehog. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? A little cartoon brought into live action is crushing Disney. I am happy to see that. And we need more people to step up and do that in this shitty industry that's full of all these politics and all this woke garbage. That's why this industry is where it's at. You get what you freaking deserve. WB, you're destroying your own IP. This is why your fans and your audience have walked away. Give us what we've been asking for. Give us more of the Snyderverse. You put us to the side. You're moving forward with a reboot that nobody's interested, nobody asked, and nobody's even looking at. You're paying to get these fake reviews, to get all these fake shills on your side, and it's still not working. Day of release at the box office, you know what you're going to expect. You're not going to make those numbers that you want. You're craving, and you've been for over 10 years trying to be like Marvel. And now DC has officially become Marvel. That's what this company has become. DC has fully, completely hybrid into Marvel. You wanted Marvel at DC, you got it. Now, don't cry when you don't get the numbers at the box office and you don't get the performance. All you need to do is give us the Snyderverse, Zack Snyder's Justice League 2, Justice League 3, Batfleck, the movie with Ben Affleck, everything that you were supposed to give us. Man of Steel 2, Man of Steel 3, Wonder Woman 3, Aquaman, The Flash, the proper Flash, not the one that we got with Andy Muschietti. We were supposed to get Flashpoint. And then on top of that, a Cyborg movie, yo, we'll be good. We'll be good. You'll be making money. You'll be making profit. But again, you won't know it until you actually do it. That's the problem with the studios. They should be listening to their fans. That's why you got to acknowledge and you got to give credit to where credit is due. Paramount is listening to the fans, especially with that backlash of the first design of Sonic. And what did they do? They fixed it. And look at where they're at right now. 3 movies in less than 10 years. Amazing. I am thankful and grateful to still be here and be able to witness that and see that with my own eyes. Who would have thought Sonic the Hedgehog would have outperformed Mufasa? Amazing. Amazing. WB could be the same. They can outperform Marvel with the MCU if they were to bring Zack back and let Zack do his thing. Sony screwed up their universe, not because of the fans. Don't try to blame the fans. The fans have been asking you, where the hell has Spider Man been when all these events happened? He didn't show up in none of these standalone films from the villains of Spider Man. What's so hard, Sony? You own the rights to Spider Man. Why are you not utilizing him? Oh, why? Because you probably did a new contract with Marvel. They gave you more money. Now they screwed you out of your own universe? Because that's what I think happened. How do you move forward with all your villains, but without the main hero in them? You have 3 Spider-Mans. You don't need Tom Holland. You have Andrew Garfield that's still there, ready to go. And you have Tobey Maguire. Why are you not utilizing them? The same thing with DC. DC, you have all these Batmen. You have the multiverse. You've already opened the doors to it. Why aren't you doing anything with them? You could be milking it and making so much profit from every version of Batman. You do it with the toys with McFarlane. You do it with the merchandise, but you're just scared to do it live action. What's going on? What's the problem? See what I'm saying? That's where the issue comes in. When you have a studio that doesn't care, it's telling you. It's telling you exactly where they stand at. And fans are tired. Fans are completely tired of it. Fans just want, honestly, good quality. That's all. That's all we want. We just want good quality. We don't want anything else. We just want quality, you know? And shame on us for that, right? Shame on us because we want Man of Steel 2. Shame on us because we want to see Black Adam, Shazam, and Superman go at it, right? Shame on us because we want that. Shame on us because we want to see Batman that's brute, that's dark, that's badass go up against Deathstroke, right? I mean, his name says it all, Deathstroke. Literally, shame on us for that, right? What you want to do, censor it and give us a rated G type of version. Come on, that's what James Gunn is doing. James Gunn's literally giving us the G rated of all of these movies. Oh, let's just sprinkle a little blood on it and make it a little bit R rated. That's it. That's it. James Gunn is not impressing any of us. He's just not. And this is why you're seeing that his fans are all rattled up right now. Because when it comes, to all of this, exactly, modern metalhead covers and edits. I agree with you. I'm tired of hearing excuses from gun shows. It's all bull. Exactly. A lot of us can agree with that. It's on a daily basis. You can't say that you want quality because shame on us. They don't want quality. They don't understand quality. They don't know quality. And most of all, they don't like quality. They want trash. That's what it is. Because James Gunn's followers, majority of them, all right? Majority of them, 3% are all right. All right. You know who you are, you know? But the rest, man, they want you to accept what James Gunn is putting out there forcefully. They want you to accept all that raunchiness, all that pervertedness, all that wild stuff. There's a time and a place. Look, don't get me wrong. I like movies like that too. I like comedies and stuff like that. But this is not the place for it. Why are you going to have a superhero in the middle of a fight in an underwear, literally, like Peacemaker, goofing around like it's a joke? Like, dude, this is not the time and the place for it. But yet with James Gunn, it's okay, right? That's acceptable. Hearing with what I spoke about yesterday, that James Gunn saying that Crypto is going to be the worst super dog in the world because it's going to represent his real life dog that he's just going to be putting it into the movie. But that's okay, right? Why? Why is that even being allowed? Again, WB is allowing this. And this is why their movies are flopping, because people want quality. No more excuses. No more excuses. This is why I said you need people like me to call the facts. You have people out here saying, "Oh, I bring to you the facts, and I say how it is and stuff like that." No, you don't. You're just reporting on what you're coming across. I say it how it is. That's it. And people be coming at me from all angles. You think I care? I don't get two shits. I'm here still doing it. I'm sick and I'm still here talking to y'all and bringing y'all these updates with all these trolls constantly, like flooding my comments with all this negativity. I have to go one by one to filter it and try to keep our community, as cool as possible, because that's what we're here for. And then you got these James Gunn, which is completely mind-boggling. How the hell? All right. This, and I've said it multiple times, and you see my videos. My channel supports Zack Snyder. It supports David Ayer. It supports Michael Bay. If you don't like what I talk about, you're more than welcome to go watch anybody else. This is for fans that enjoy my point of view. Look, as a Transformers fan, if you don't like Michael Bay, it's cool. We don't have to agree. But don't come here and try to make me change my point of view, my opinion, because you're in your feelings. Don't come here and tell me because I love and I enjoy the Snyderverse and what David Ayer gave us, and you want me to accept what James Gunn is giving us. No, no, you're nobody. I'm not here trying to force nobody to accept what I'm saying. No, you're here watching because you want to. I'm not forcing nobody to accept anything that I'm saying. If you enjoy it, cool. If you don't, it's still cool. I'm not no hard feelings. You get what I'm saying? But then this message that I'm about to say right now is specifically to that number one stalker. You know who you are. This is how pathetic he is that he re-uploaded my videos. All right. Now we're talking about a copyright infringement. All right. I've already reported you multiple times to YouTube. Keep on playing with me. You're trying me. I'm being patient. Stop playing with me. I'm giving you an update. You know who you are. I said it. Now I'm telling you right now. Stop using my content without my permission. I'm about to take legal action on you if you continue it. You know who you are. These James Gunn fans know who they are. They love to play the victim, but then when it comes down to the facts, oh, they don't like that, right? They don't like it. That's the same thing with these movies. When it comes to all this, it's not that serious. We're here talking about it. We're here chilling about it. We're doing what we have to do. But then you have people that it shows you who and what they are. they go out of their way just to criticize and talk about your opinion. This is why it's called an opinion. We're all entitled to our opinion, but you just have to be respectful about it. If you don't agree with my opinion, that's okay. I don't have to agree with your opinion. That's what we are, fans. We all enjoy what we enjoy. I've said it multiple times. I love what Zack Snyder gave us. I do not worship Zack Snyder as a god because he's not. He's just a good movie director, and I like most of his movies. Same thing with David Ayer. I like his work. Doesn't mean I like everything, you know. But you get what I'm saying? I don't care about James Gunn personally. I don't know him. Do I like his work at DC? No. Did I like his Guardians of the Galaxy movies? 50-50. I didn't see the first one. I liked the second one. I didn't like the third one. That's it. I've already given him chance here at DC. It's not what I want as a fan. This is why I talk about it. Because in order for you to fix something, sometimes you have to criticize it. Don't you have surveys when you go somewhere or you eat somewhere or you bought something? Minutes later, as soon as you're done, they're coming at you with a survey. Oh, how did we do? How should we work on something? They want to hear that feedback. That's the same thing with this. As a fan, WB, you need to also consider us because we're consumers, we're customers, we're giving you money. And if we're giving you money, then why aren't you considering us? See what I'm saying? And a lot of people could feel like that. And this is why, like I'm telling everybody, starting in 2025, the theme is going to be wallets closed. That's it. Keep those wallets closed. Why keep on supporting a company that seriously doesn't care about us? They don't appreciate us. And then all of a sudden, they want to come and try to say, hey, look, this is what you guys want. This is what you deserve. I ain't watching and I ain't buying that. That's why, like, I posted that video. You have Funko Pops that make Peacemaker figures with the underwear and the helmet. They didn't sell wherever they were, and they ended up at Ross. When they end up at Ross, that means that it's merchandise that doesn't sell at a store, whatever store it is. I'm not the only one because multiple people are saying, hey, I'm seeing this too in my stores and stuff like that. So that's telling you that those products are not selling. And somebody posted a comment saying, I've never seen a Zack Snyder Justice League, you know, merchandise on sale or on clearance, and you won't because it sells like hot fresh bread. That's why, everybody's right now looking for the new wave of McFarlane toys with Batman versus Superman. Look, I'm a collector, and again, this message is for that one clown that constantly, he even re-uploaded my videos without my permission, right? And then he's like, oh, you collect toys? Hell yeah, I do. That's what I started my channel off, bozo. So joke's on you. Who's the idiot now? See what I'm saying? So it's like they want to come and bark, but then when they see that you respond, they don't know what to say. That's how they are. That's how these James Gunn fans are, always trying to play the victim. But then when the facts come at them, they don't know how to completely react. They don't know, oh, what? He responded. What? What the hell? Exactly. I'm not going to sit here and waste my time and call out the name because it's useless. I'm not going to give you clout just because you want attention. Go to social media, go get your attention somewhere else. But I just do know that I'm aware of that. And if you continue with that nonsense, I am going to take legal action. Enough is enough. Stop playing around with me. I'm not the one you want to play with. I'm telling you straight up. I don't go out of my way and use your whatever it is that you put. Why? I don't have time for that. We're all grown-ups here. That just shows the level of immaturity that one fan that's constantly stalking my page. He knows who he is. I'm not going to say his name because it's pointless. He just wants the attention. I'm not going to give it to him. See what I'm saying? But when it all comes down to it, we already know that with James Gunn, there's no hope. We know the Snyderverse is going to make a comeback, and it's going to make a strong comeback. I'm pretty sure now, even more than before, every time I see it, and with the way that things are going right now, there's a shakeup going on right now. This is not coincidence. Think about it. We're about to enter 2025 in a few days at the time of this recording. All right. Once we enter 2025, in 2026, which would be next year, I'm just talking like if we're in the future already, we will have Comcast that's coming into play. And once you have that, all right, once you have Comcast coming into play, they were the ones that wanted and they requested Zack Snyder and David Ayer for alternative DC content for HBO Max. Let's just speculate and let's put the pieces to the puzzle. All right. If we're seeing right now that James Gunn is trying to rush and give us Supergirl, Clayface, they're delaying Batman, Brave and the Bold, they're delaying Robert Pattinson's and Matt Reeves' universe. Let's look at the big picture, right? That's a small picture. The big picture is what if, big what if Comcast has already gotten the rights for HBO Max and they already have Zack Snyder and David Ayer, and they are going to restore the Snyderverse on HBO Max. That would be a massive win. It would be cheap because they don't have to pay theaters to stream it, to show it, or whatever it is. They can just play it on their streaming service. They're going to get more subscribers. They're going to get more people because they know people are going to want to get it. They're going to want to see it. Now, all of a sudden, now we get the Ayer cut. And then we get the other alternative DC content. What would it be? Imagine, right? While James Gunn is doing his thing right now at DC, that's fine. Go for it. Do your thing at DC Studios. But now Zack Snyder and David Ayer are back to do and run things on HBO Max with the Snyderverse and continue the Snyderverse. Do what you want. Here's the keys. Do as you please. The same way that Netflix has given the keys to Zack Snyder with Rebel Moon and whatever he wants to do. And look at what they're doing. They're winning. They're succeeding. You think that WB isn't going to want that? You think Comcast isn't going to want that? Of course they are. That's money. That's revenue. That's success. That's profit. That's them going into the green. You better believe that something is coming. And that alone is going to happen. I don't know how or from where, but something is happening and something is cooking behind the doors that none of us will ever be able to see or hear because these are meetings that these professionals are having behind closed doors. These are private meetings. This involves a lot of money. This involves on a lot of legal stuff. So, of course, we'll never hear about that unless you're an executive or somebody on the board. But I'm fully convinced, and I see it, that Comcast is the one that's going to acquire, in the end, WB, and they're going to be the parent company of this whole brand. And things are going to change within the next year and a half, probably 2 years, because these things are not going to happen overnight. But we will be getting an update from the inside of WB or probably Comcast or something, whatever it is. But I see it. The puzzles are all starting to align and things are starting to line up and they're starting to make sense. There's no coincidence. No coincidence. Let's be real. Matt Reeves' Batman getting delayed. 5 years later, there's still no script. They're trying to greenlight Clayface. Don't be surprised if that gets delayed or something comes up in January. Supergirl with James Gunn is probably gonna move forward just for now, just because of the contract and what James Gunn is allowed to do within his contract for the time being. But it's not gonna go past that. I'm telling y'all. I'm being 100%. It's not going to go past. Superman is not going to bring in the numbers. It's not going to bring in the money that WB and these executives are expecting. They know that it's not going to work. So if you see disaster before it's happening, what are you going to do? We need to come up with a backup plan. And what's the backup plan? I think the backup plan is already Zack Snyder and David Ayer. And I have a strong feeling that once Zach is done with that 300 project that he's doing at WB, the next thing that we're going to be hearing is going to be the return of the Snyderverse. I'm fully convinced that it's going to happen. It's no coincidence. I'm telling y'all, there's no coincidence here. Like this is completely going to happen. This is it's cooking. It's cooking. This is why you see all these James Gunn fans coming out because they know they can't stop us. They couldn't stop us with the Snyder cut. They're not going to stop us with the restoration of the Snyderverse. It's going to happen. Just like, well, what's his name? Thanos said, it's inevitable. The Snyderverse, there's no stopping it. It's coming. It's coming from all 360 angles. We just don't know from what side it's going to come. And once it does arrive, oh, you better get ready. You better get ready because we're all going to be partying. We are all going to be celebrating. It's going to happen. There is no chance of James Gunn moving far with his DCU. If Comcast is looking at numbers, they're going to see how bad The Flush did at the box office last year, how everything under the leadership and the ruling of James Gunn's regime has not performed the way that they thought it was. So, what happens if you work at a company and you're a corporate? I don't know if you all have ever been in a meeting like that, but they're very nervous, like they just don't work. And in the end, these talks and everything that has to do with them, they just, it's just like, hey, this is what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be doing change, and the change is going to be that they're going to be, look, we're moving forward, and we're gonna stop production on everything you're doing now, and we're just gonna move forward with what we left off, which was the DCEU. There's still numbers, there's still money. You guys cost us this much, and we can't take any more loss. That's what I see that's coming, and it's gonna change. It's gonna change for the good. But yeah. So this is what it is for today. I'm about to end this. Again, I appreciate everybody for watching. I truly I'm humbled. I truly appreciate everybody wherever you are around the world, for taking the time, for listening, for dropping your comments, the hitting subscribe, all that good stuff. I do these videos. I try to do these videos on a daily basis. The streams, I try to do them every so often. But here we are, here we are, and I do it for each and every one of you, um, wherever it is, just doing what we have to do, bringing y'all these updates and stuff like that. I enjoy it. I hope you all are enjoying it and stuff like that. And of course, seeing the views, it's like, it's awesome. It's awesome seeing everybody, like sharing the videos, commenting and stuff like that. But it's truly a blessing, honestly, because being able to talk with y'all and be able to bring, these updates and stuff that I come across is just showing us more and more that we cannot lose hope and we cannot lose faith. We didn't lose hope and we didn't lose faith for the Snyder Cut. We fought, we held on, and in the end, we got it. That's what matters. We went 5 years and we finally have it. And once this is achieved, the return of the Snyderverse is going to be back, and things will get better for all of us when it comes to this entertainment business. Let's keep on fighting, us united, and in the end, that's what matters. And again, we will stop at nothing. All right. Appreciate y'all for watching. Y'all stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your day wherever you're at, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. All right. Thanks. Peace.